Showed up in pajamas, kids gone bananas. Did you know you specify your fetish as sex, back pocket bandana? Is this the new shit you recorded?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, your YouTube Messiah, often imitate, never duplicate a success in this set. Gonna go a little raw this week. Was in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. But before we do, just like always, we're gonna switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. It started out with Roman and the family all coming out. Roman asking to be acknowledged and then giving the mic to the wise man. And the wise man, mine savior, Paul Heyman, asked quite possibly one of the most profound questions in the history of wrestling. People of Utah, how do you address yourselves? Utahians, Utahns, Utahians, Anyone? No? 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 Well, anyways, they wound up Paul hyping up the Crown Jewel match, as well as emphasizing how Solo was brought in by the elders, more so not his doing, but more so because the elders of the family wanted to help make sure everyone understands Roman is at the top of the table, is the head of the table, and is staying that way. Then after that, Roman got the mic, got Sami's attention, addressed him about what happened last week with the walking douche nozzle known as Logan Paul, and then said to him, while looking at him while wearing the Bloodline shirt, I want you to take that shirt off. What? I want you to take that shirt off. You're never wearing that shirt again. And Sami looking all sad like, oh. And everyone just looking, and everyone watching like, oh no, don't kick Sami out. And then Roman yells, Jay, get that shirt off him. And then he yanks it off him. And then Sami just looking all sad and about ready to burst into tears like, no, you're never wearing that shirt again because I got you a new one. Okay, maybe not this one, which, by the way, you can pick up, which, by the way, you can purchase. Details on that are down below in the description box. Hint, hint, wink, wink, cheap plug. Anyways, Roman gives Sami a new shirt saying honorary Oos. Sami is ecstatic. Everyone's jumping for joy except Jay, just looking like, what the fuck? What the hell? What? Oh, hell no. And Jay just looking like that. So yeah, then they go to that, and then we get to the first match, first SmackDown. It was Liv versus Lacey Evans. Liv got the win. After that, she then did some quote-unquote extreme spots to emphasize on how the match is going to be an Extreme Rules match between her and Ronda at the pay-per-view. Excuse me. Couple chair shots and a table spot, and yeah. New Day had a match against Maximum Male Models. New Day got the win, and then Max Dupree wound up having a huge fit over the loss and then walked off. And there's been rumors and speculation and what have you about Dupree going back to being LA Knight, so just gotta wait and see on that. Braun Strowman had a match against Otis, which that right there is having two big meaty men having meat slapping meat kind of action. Yeah, there's no other way to describe that match. Strowman wound up getting the win. Drew also challenged Karrion Kross to a strap match at the pay-per-view, which Kross accepted. And honestly, you're gonna hear this revolve maybe a couple more times over the course of this episode, but it just really feels like they're over gimmicking this pay-per-view. It's like every other match it's like every new match is going to be a gimmick instead of just, heaven forbid, you have one or two hardcore matches and then have the rest just be actual hard-hitting action. But either way. Dakota Kai had a match against Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel got the win. Damage Control started to do a beatdown on her. And then Shotzi came out and did the save. I don't know, some people were, and I saw some people were shitting and poo-pooing all over it. Like, oh, they're turning Shotzi face and having her team with Raquel now because of Leah's there, blah, 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 blah. Listen. Excuse me. Listen. I don't care if you got 10 minutes, 10 seconds, or 10 hours. You make the use of every last fucking second you get to be on TV. And not only that, listen, I freaking love Shotzi. Big fan of hers, was a big fan of hers when she was in the Indies. Loved her when she was in NXT. You know, still the same way now. Here's my thing though. She's taken what use of TV time she can. Heaven forbid a talent that people say should have TV time is capitalizing on that. Notice on how everyone always tends to forget that part whenever they say they get mad that somebody's in a story or an angle or working with someone they don't want them to, right? And the Usos had a match against the Brawling Brutes, Butch and Ridge Holland, and oh my god, this was a damn good match. I thoroughly freaking enjoyed this match. It was a damn good one. A lot of hard-hitting physicality on there. If you can, try and look it up. Excuse me. Now, with that said, let's get into this week's show. Raw, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And it starts out with Bianca, a Little Miss Bliss, and Asuka, who, by the way, as of the day of this recording, happy birthday. All in the ring, and Bianca, she cuts a promo saying on how she's ready for Bayley, she wants her, she's ready to go and beat her ass, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 kind of bit. She's ready to go now. Then Bayley, Dakota, and Neo come out. They all go, and then Bayley says, no. You see, you only got to run at your peak when I wasn't here. I was gone. I was injured. I couldn't even walk. And all during that time, you ran roughshod. All because I wasn't here. And then she wound up then emphasizing on how she was the first person to pin her in 300 something days. This, that, and the other. They traded words verbally back and forth. And then Bayley said, how about we make our match at Extreme Rules a ladder match? Which, again, like I said, too many fucking gimmicks, man. Just, ay. Listen, I like, there are some gimmick matches I'm cool with, but, you're overloading it. I mean, it's like, trying to think. It feels like it's overdone. Like you put too much seasoning on a steak. If that analogy makes sense. But either way, Bianca wound up saying, I'm ready to go right now, so I'll take on any of you. And then she goes winds up having a match with Io. So our first match of the night, sorry if I'm a little off kilter at the moment, Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. Whew. There's your reason why. Yeah. So as far as the match went, Bianca, she was leading the pace for the match, and I dug it. It was good. I don't know, maybe it was just me, but the crowd seemed really kind of silent. Almost like and I'm not saying this in an insultive way, so don't take it as it, but the crowd was silent almost to the point to where it was like almost on a New Japan kind of level. Like, you watch Japanese wrestling and you see the crowds will be silent because they're actually being silent to watch and spectate and show the respect. I get that's the culture there. Not necessarily always the case in Canada, and it was not quite like that. It's just, it felt really quiet, like, dude, what's going on? I mean, the crowd started to pick up near the end of the match, but it just, like, what the hell? For silence. And, yeah. Decent match, though. It was a good opener. Wouldn't say it was one of the best openers of the year, but it was a good opener. Match came to an end when Bianca, she got the win because Io went to go do a springboard off the rope, missed hitting Bianca, and then Bianca capitalized, got her up on her shoulders, and then boom, KOD 1, 2, 3. That was it. Next up, we had Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. Going back to that old rivalry. Ugh. It just, yeah. Oof. And that was the never-ending rivalry. But Seth cut a promo before the match saying, oh, now he's got like an Einstein-like brain for this. So he's going to beat Riddle. He's going to tap him out, choke him out, make him give up, pass out, this, that, and the other kind of stuff. And all the while he's doing that, he's also emphasizing on how he's mad because he should be U.S. champ right now, but he's not because he was inches away from getting the win, but then Riddle ran it. So with that said, and then Seth ran quite some unfavorable comments towards Rey's parenting skills towards how Dominik's been acting lately. So, sorry. Ugh. Just coming off of a head cold. But, yeah. Then Rey comes down, he gets in the ring, and then just, boom, throws a drop kick right at Seth right at the start. And then they cut the commercial, they come back, you see Seth, he's got like a nasty small little cut right in the middle of his forehead, like you'd thought, like, you know, almost like right in the middle. Almost like a bullseye target. So, I'm always cool with blood. Doesn't bother me none. But, decent match. Seth, he was leading. Like I said, he got the cut on his head. At one point, Dominik came on down. Dominik came on down. And then, as he did, he looked over at Seth. Hey. And laughing over Rey beaten up and knocked out. And then Dom just popped out a chair, just sat there and watched the match as it went on. And then eventually, when Rey's outside, at one point, Dominik, he gives Rey the chair, drops down to his knees, like, go ahead, right here, go ahead. Pop one right there. All the while, Rey's just looking like that conflicted father. I don't want to. Where, man, we all know. If you're a parent, you automatically know. There are times when you just sit there and think, you know, if you weren't my kid, I'd have slapped the taste out your mouth. We've all had that thought at one point or another, I'm assuming. But, yeah. While Rey's sitting there looking all conflicted and unsure, Rhea Ripley comes out of nowhere, slams Rey into the ring post, throws him back in, and then Seth does a curb stomp and then does a Peruvian necktie on him to where he passes out. The necktie submission is supposed to be a little bit of a nod saying that he can submit and pass out Riddle at the Fight Pit match, which, again, Fight Pit, that's another gimmick match. See what I mean? So now we come to tag team action. Alpha Academy going against Johnny Gargano and Kevin Owens. And this really, really good start with Johnny and Gable. These two guys can work pretty damn good. I like the hell out of that. Gargano, he was the punching bag for a small bit post-break afterwards. Then Owens got the tag in. Well, I don't even want to say it was a hot tag, but he got the tag in and he started working, going good. And then, but honestly, for the most part, Alpha Academy was leading this match. You know, it was a decent match. I dug it. Match came to an end when Johnny, he was in the corner sizing up Gable for his shot. And then Theory, shades of last week, just like what Johnny did, came out, distracted him. Oh, hey, oh. Distracted him. And as he's on the apron, he's fighting with Gable. And then pops over and then, boom! Hits Gable with the Gargano spike, that over the rope DDT. 1, 2, 3, that's it. Backstage, you wind up seeing Theory get a phone call to address to Gable. Gable puts it on speaker, and it's Strowman saying that this coming Monday next week, it's going to be Strowman versus Gable in Gable's hometown, and he's going to wipe the floor with him. Theory also pitches the idea to Otis versus Johnny Gargano. Alright, cool. Next up, we got Omos going against local jobbers, and yeah, that's what you can expect. It was a squash match. After that, we had Nikki A.S.H coming out. She's already in the ring, lining up, waiting. Next thing you know, hear the music. Much to the surprise, the return of Candice LeRae. And for anyone that's watched PWG, I'm sure you'll all get this. Candice LeRae is tougher than you. Yeah. Candice LeRae is back. Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling are there. So we got Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and Austin Theory all on Monday Night Raw. All we need now is Indy. Well, technically even Dexter Lumis, because Johnny Gargano's quote-unquote son-in-law. But given, you know, Indy's her wrestling dad and all. But I'm just saying, almost got the whole family back. Just waiting for Indy to get the call up. But Nikki, Candice, much like what you would expect for a surprise return, Candice got the win doing a swinging neck breaker off the middle rope. And then afterwards you see Nikki A.S.H rip off her mask, screaming and freaking out, getting mad, which, to my surprise, I did not know Nikki A.S.H was, her secret identity was Nikki Cross. The mask fooled me. Did anyone else know that? Because I sure as hell did not. Really goes to show, masks really do hide your identity well. Even the small little domino ones. Think you know someone, huh? Next up, we got Sami Zayn going against AJ Styles. And this match came to be over a little Twitter spat because AJ threw a joke about Sami getting a t-shirt, about getting the Honorary Oosh shirt, and yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, Sami, he's out with Solo. But, man, this match, oh my god, this was a damn good match. This was a damn good match. All sorts of Ring of Honor nostalgia. And, you know, as much as I love Ring of Honor, and I do, one thing I gotta say, I don't ever quite recall if we ever had AJ Styles go against El Generico. But, you know, I'm gonna have to look that up to see, because I can't recall it. But good God, 2 Ring of Honor originals in there, they tore it up. This was a great match, had a beautiful pace and flow to my liking, and really good back and forth with each other. I dug the hell out of it. And the whole time, you just see Solo standing there like, you know he's gonna jump at you. It's just a matter of when, not if. That boy is gonna jump at you, and when he does, he's gonna break you like a goddamn toothpick. And, yeah, rest assured, near the end, when AJ started having things started having things go his way. Solo grabbed Styles, popped him with a Uranagi, hit him with a Uranagi on the apron, rolled him into the ring, and then Sami popped him with the hell of a kick. 1, 2, 3, that was it. So yeah, that's that. So now we come to main event of the night. Matt Riddle, Damian Priest. Now before this match came to place, immediately after the match with Sami and AJ, Judgment Day came down to offer AJ a spot in the group. Finn went offered and offered him an olive branch of friendship. Come on, what do you say? While Finn holding up the too sweet, AJ just goes, "Fuck you," right to his face, and then they proceed to do a beat down on him. And as they got the chair rigged up on his neck, as they about to stomp, Finn like, "Whoa, no, because we're friends." That's right. So then Riddle comes out, so now we get the match. As far as the match went, solid, good action, Priest leading. This was actually a really good match. I wasn't quite sure what I was expecting when I was walking into it, but I gotta tell you, I was thoroughly entertained. I dug the action. I thought it was good. It was decent enough. It was, well, not decent enough because that kind of makes it sound insultive, but it was a decent match. I dug it. I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Riddle got the win when Priest was fighting to try and get him up on his shoulders. Like 2, 3, finally got him, and then Riddle threw his weight down behind him and then wound up getting him in like a roll-up out of nowhere. And I was actually okay with this roll-up because it was the first roll-up of the night, first roll-up win of the night, and also Riddle was on the ass end of an ass whooping throughout majority of the match, so it came in a good psychology wise. It was okay. I don't have enough strength to throw out this or this kind of move, so I'm just gonna try and do a quick dirty pin. That's all, and it worked. Afterwards, he got the win. Then Judgment Day proceeded to do a beatdown, and then Edge returned again. Edge returned. Speared the shit out of Priest, took out Dominik, speared Finn, and then got on the mic, said point blank, "Finn, I'm back. I always come back. Some may take me 9 years, but I'll come back." And then throughout the challenge to Finn, Extreme Rules, Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match. Again, the gimmicking. It's over gimmicked. 2 to 3 matches. 2 to 3 matches at the very most. Have them be the gimmick match. 2 to 3 gimmick matches at the very most. And then after that, just have everything else just be hard-hitting, ass-kicking kind of matches. Too much. Putting too much seasoning on the steak. You drown that steak in a giant vat of A1. It's no longer fucking decent. So yeah, anyways, that is it for this week's show, folks. So that's it for this week's show. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimBicious. Thank you to my executive producer, Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. Make sure it's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of man, a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter. Kenny Gillen, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants, and Dubs in your face. And folks, make sure you check out whatamaneuver.net, like I said earlier, for the Vish Ranch shirts. Holiday seasons are coming up. Perfect gift for someone you love, or a perfect gift for somebody you don't love. Somebody you hate. Somebody you... If you want to give a shirt to a homeless guy or something. So, either way, at the end of the day, like I always tell you, how you love me, great, you hate me. Fuck you.